Hey, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, good to have you back. I hope everyone is doing great today. These messages are timeless and they will be received in divine timing, so you will receive them when you are meant to hear them. Today's message is a little interesting, and this is from the Akashic Records and the entire divine realms. So it's from all the ascended masters, all the angels and saints. And what they're asking for is unity, unity for all of us. Okay. Unfortunately, many have fallen astray under this false matrix, this reality, this three-dimensional reality that we live in, and many are falling prey to the dark forces and are blinded into seeing the reality for what is really happening before them. And the divine realms wants everyone to be aware that we're not powerless, and we can get through this, but we have to get through it together. And that might entail some difficulty. Now, I always, ask for unity among everyone, including in the current political climate. And I don't want to make this political because what I have to say is not political. It's about saving our freedom if we want to continue to be free in this country, in the United States, and throughout the world. So the divine realms are sending out this message today to help us to achieve that. Okay, and what they're saying is the way to achieve it is through unity, through seeing each other. Now, I don't condone what some people are doing, the advocation of harming others, whether they be an immigrant based on their sexual orientation, their sex, their gender, the color of their skin, for whatever. I am not an advocate for that. So if this message is being received by somebody who has been on that side of the spectrum, it's time to reevaluate what's going on with yourself. Now, I do believe in trying to hear those particular people out and keeping an open mind. Doesn't mean I agree with them, but regardless of what their belief system is, for the rest of us, especially light workers and chosen, we have a job to do, and that means having to reach everyone and doing our best to try to enlighten those who have a belief system that is aligned with the dark side. Okay, a lot of them are unaware that they are working for the dark side. They're being used as a vessel. They're being used as a vessel of hate, as a vessel of distrust. These are all things from the dark side, and they have to be neutralized. We have to balance things out. If we don't, we're going to find ourselves down a path that we don't want to exist in. And so it's really imperative what the divine realms are asking everyone to do, especially light workers and chosen, is to try to create unity and understanding, trying to enlighten those who are dark, okay, or allowing them to realize that they may not even realize that they're being led by a force beyond their control, okay. Now, we're not going to be able to change everyone or force everyone, but sometimes planting a seed is enough. Having the courage to plant a seed, okay, planting a seed through your conviction. It's not being afraid to speak out for justice for everyone, for every living being on this planet, every living creature on this planet, and the planet itself. This is the work we are brought here to do. And if we want to raise the vibration of this planet, we have to work together. We have to promote love, kindness, understanding, even when it's with people we disagree with, okay? And help them realize, okay, a lot of us have family members, including myself, that have aligned themselves with this dark side. And I'm not afraid to speak out and say, hey, listen, what you're saying and what you're doing is wrong, point blank, full stop, and explain to them why it's wrong. Now, some of them will get it, and those that won't will never get it, unfortunately. And that's when you have to say, you know what, I did my best, I planted the seed, and now I'm going to remove myself from the situation. I'm going to remove myself from the situation because I don't want to entangle myself in their negativity, in their lower vibrational energy, because they're going to drag you down with them. But if you are able to speak with conviction and ask Source, ask the angels and saints, ask whoever it is that is from the light to help you, to give you the words to speak to these people, to give you a word that they might understand. I've said it time and time and again. We, as individuals, are the voice for the divine realms. They don't speak out of the sky, okay? They speak through each and every one of us. And the same way many speak evil is the same way that we, especially those who are enlightened, have the ability to speak truth. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to have conviction in order to do that. And there's many people who I'm speaking to out there today who are afraid to do so. Now you have to remember, if you have the backing of the divine realms, there's nothing for you to fear. You can do anything. You can use your voice. That's what it's for. That's what it was given to you for. And if you have a calling to do so, you're obligated. And don't look at it as a chore. Look at it as a gift, you know, and be grateful for that gift. And say, hey, you know what? Source, the divine realms, whoever it is that, you feel most comfortable with, has provided me with a voice to speak. And I'm going to use it. And I'm going to speak the divine's words to all those out there who are willing to listen. But I also will ask for discernment when my words will not be able to make any change and to be able to move on from the situation and to remove myself from the situation. And without feeling bad and without worrying about what the other person's going to think, because in the end, it's irrelevant. What matters is what you think, what we do, and what the divine realms is asking of us. We're all asked to do something, each and every one of us. And we might not always like what we're being asked to do, but that's the thing. Either we're going to do it or we're not. Nobody's going to force you, and there's no judgment here because this is not about judgment. But if you do follow that divine calling, you will be given the strength, and that strength will increase, and your ability will increase. Your intuition will increase. We've been stuck in this matrix for so long, and living by false beliefs that we have to suffer and struggle in this world, and that's just not true. That's something that was created to keep us down. You know, I mentioned before they fluoridated the water, and they were aware that fluoridation of water was going to calcify the pineal gland, which is your third eye. That's that gland that's right between your eyes and your forehead. Okay. Now, when that gets calcified, we are unable to connect with the divine realms. And that's what the dark forces wants. It wants to stifle our ability to have clear communication with the divine realms. It wants to stifle our ability to be able to see with our third eye. Okay? Now, the third eye can be developed by anyone. It takes practice. Some of us were naturally born with that. Okay? Uh, you know, I was born naturally with an ability to see things that others couldn't see. So the divine, has chosen me to come out here in front of everyone and try to gather everyone together and bring unity, okay, to create a community. And that's what I'm doing, no matter how long it takes. I don't feel totally worthy of doing this, okay? So for anyone who's feeling afraid and saying, hey, you know what, I'm scared, I don't know what I can possibly do to make change, just take the first step, okay? I was terrified about doing this, but I've noticed through the from the start of my doing this, my ability has increased, and I've seen improvement within myself that I thought I wouldn't be able to do. So use me as an example for yourself. If you're afraid to do what the divine is asking you to do, if you're afraid to maintain your integrity, if you're afraid to use your God-given voice, ask for assistance, and you'll get it. You'll be given the strength. All you have to do is ask for it. According to the laws of free will, we have to ask because nothing will be imposed on us, just as we are not to impose anything on anyone. And if there's anyone out there, religious wise, that's trying to impose their religion on anyone, that's a first indication that that's not from the divine, because the divine allows everyone free will. No one is forced to do anything. Everyone has a right to believe what they want to believe, including what I'm telling you right now. Okay? And these messages won't be for everyone. They're just not. They're those who have an understanding and are able to read between the lines. Okay, are able, and those for those who are able to understand what it is that source is communicating to them through me. So there's those out there that need to hear it, and those that need to hear it will understand. And you'll know if this is for you because you'll relate to what I'm saying. If you're getting that feeling in your stomach from hearing this message that's telling you to do something, it means it's time for you to move forward. If you want. And if you don't, that's fine too. But if you do so, what I can promise is you will be amazed at the things you'll find out about yourself. You'll be amazed to see the growth that you can accomplish within yourself. You'll be amazed at the progress you can make day by day. And it's not going to happen automatically. It does take practice and it does take courage. But I have faith. I have faith that those of you out there listening to me can do this. You're capable of doing this. And I want you to know that. The divine wants you to know that. The entire divine realms wants you to know that. You are capable. You have a voice that's valid. Okay? You have something to say that's valid. And it doesn't matter what other people think. Because that's irrelevant, like I said before. What matters is the impact that your voice can carry. And you'd be surprised. You might say just one thing to one person, and that might awaken them to a new reality, help them to see that maybe the way they're doing things is incorrect or is not. I don't want to say incorrect, but is not of the light. Okay. And if those people refuse to change, you have an obligation to either move away from them and continue to grow on your spiritual path, or to remain with them and get sucked into their lower vibrational existence. But the choice is always ours. It's just that cut and dry. Everything's a choice, and even listening to this message is a choice. And a lot of times people might, cut off this message before the end and they're missing something that's vital, something that maybe they specifically need to hear. So we're going to leave it at that. I want to wish everyone a fantastic weekend, and thank you again and appreciate all of you, including my small collective. Your support is truly appreciated beyond measure. And see you again soon. Take care.